Okay, so now that we're at the oven, and once you've transferred all of your items to the oven, we're going to turn on the oven, and we're going to put it on medium to high heat, depends on how fast you are with cooking. Sorry, I think the video, I accidentally stopped it, but you know, we're good. So you're going to let your pan heat up for a bit, and then we're going to add our oil. Hold on, let me just. Okay, I'm sorry. So once you let your pan heat up, by the way, I touched the pan because I know I just turned it on, but you don't have to touch the pan, you just kind of estimate. So you're going to be adding just a bit of oil. You don't need like a grand amount, if that makes any sense. Though it does depend on how many eggs you decide to make. I'm going to be making 2, so that is why. And then we're going to let the oil heat for a bit. You don't want to let it heat too much, but just for a bit. So when you do crack your eggs, you have them in your pan, they're sizzling. If they're not sizzling, that you didn't let your oil heat up for the right amount of time. I say give it about 30 seconds for your oil to heat. So once your oil has heated, that is where the real cooking begins. We're just gonna let it heat for a bit more, you know. If you do let your oil heat just for a bit longer than you're supposed to, it's okay, it's fine. You didn't like burn down the house. It'll be fine. The only thing that will happen is that the oil will pop up, so you might want to be careful. I think if anything, I've left it on for a bit too long now, so I will be cracking my eggs. When you hear that sizzling, that's a good sign. Now we're going to crack the second egg. And we're going to throw our eggshells away, or you can simply put them to the side. I just like throwing them away on the spot after I break them. So right when you have them, like right there, you're going to want to add salt, just a bit. You know, I'm not pouring the whole thing on there. It's just to give them some sort of flavor. Sorry, that looks like I put a lot of salt, but the salt wasn't coming out, so trust me. So if you maybe think you put your heat on a bit too low, it's okay. Feel free to heat it, turn it up. As you can see the fire, I turn it up a bit. And now you start mixing it, you know, shaking it up. For this, you're going to be making scrambled eggs, so that's why you need your mixing tool. If you are going to add additional ingredients, such as, again, for example, onions or tomatoes, you add that before you add your eggs. So when your oil has already been heated, you add your chopped up tomato and your chopped up onions, and you let them simmer. And once they have been done simmering, you add your egg in there, and you start mixing all of the ingredients together. You keep mixing, you know, just kind of moving your eggs around till they are fully cooked. You know they are fully cooked when they no longer look gooey. And if you're still not sure if they're done, you can just kind of like take like a bit and just try it to make sure, you know. But you can usually just tell just by looking at it. So right now, since I didn't make a lot of eggs, the eggs are almost done cooking. And now they are done. So we're going to turn off the heat, let them just kind of rest in the pan. So now we're going to turn on our other pan that we're going to use to heat up our tortillas, our flour tortillas. Hold on. I'm sorry, it's not turning on right now. Okay, there we go. Again, you're gonna want to put them on around the same amount of heat that you did for your egg. So from medium towards kind of the middle to high. If you want them done quicker, I would suggest putting them on high. That is what I have it on right now. Just that also, having it on high helps your pan heat up quicker. So you don't have to be waiting all this time, you know, just like waiting for your pan to heat up so you can finally put your tortillas down. Having it on high heats up your pan quicker. So you can tell when it has like steam rising. That's when you know it's past heated. It's just like, you know, get your tortillas done. But you can also just lightly touch it. You know, if it's hot, then you know you're good. It is hot, so we're going to be putting 2 flour tortillas because I made 2 eggs. 1 egg is enough for 1 flour tortilla. When they're about this size, I know they sell different sizes. So depending on the size of the flour tortilla you have, then 2 eggs, if anything, will probably be for 1 or a bit more. It depends on your types, but 1 egg for 1 tortilla will suffice for my other brother's case. And so I don't really think you can see, but I'm heating the tortillas right now. And let me tell you a trick if you didn't know. When you're heating tortillas, whenever they start like blowing up, that's when you know they're fully cooked. So then you're good to go and you can take your tortillas out. In many cases, for store-bought tortillas, you may not see them blow up because they don't really blow up as much. But on instances that they do, you know that you cooked it all the way. So you can press them down with your hand, just so you know they start really getting heated. Or you can press it down with a cooking utensil like a spoon or a fork, and then you will flip them. Mine are starting to blow up. You can't really see it, so I flipped it. And because they are blowing up, I know that they are near to close ready, because usually they'll like blow themselves down. But if they don't, it's fine. As long as they blow up, then you know you're good. Or, you know, if they're getting a little color to them, then you know they're cooking. I wouldn't suggest taking out your tortillas if they at least don't have any color to them, like any little burn marks. It's fine. Doesn't mean that you're like messed up. It's natural. Okay, so these are starting to get some color on them and some rise. And so now, look, let me show you. It doesn't have to be a major blow up. It can be little like small ones, but as you can see, when I touch it, That's because it blew up. I'm not sure if you were able to see that. I can't flip my camera. That's how I accidentally ended the first video, but if you put it together, it's continuous. So it's time to take your tortillas out. And when it is, you know, grab a plate so you can serve up your eggs, you know, your burrito. Build your burrito. So you're going to want to get your tortillas. Okay, and you're going to want to get your egg. My little brother likes his tortillas a bit toasty, so a bit crunchy, so I left them for a bit longer than you usually would. So you're going to add your egg onto the plate. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just so you know, like, the amount that you're putting in each one. The casserole to the side. And then basically just form your little burrito. Roll it up. Now we have one burrito. One egg burrito, to be precise. And then you roll up your other burrito. And now you have two. I know some people like adding things inside of their burrito, like sauces. You can do that before you roll it up. That is fine. It's completely optional and to your taste. And that was really quick. Now you have your egg burrito.